What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing them the bacon NBA DFS video. It is Friday. It is March 7th. We are back. If you've never been here before, here's what we do. Anytime we have at least 5 games on the slate, we've already ran 10,000 simulations in the background. We're going to give you 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position. Now we're going to give you the projection range that we have through 10,000 simulations. Towards the afternoon, about an hour or two before tip-off, we'll run the final 10,000 for a total of 20,000 simulations. We will have all updated information under the NBA tab right here. Vegas odds all the way down to our cheat sheet. We got simulations and projections. So with our cheat sheet, we have at least 6 to 7 plays at each position for cash and 6 to 7 plays at each position for tournament. So we're very excited to be able to bring it to you. A lot of new faces and usernames recently. We want to welcome you and thank you. We do have giveaways every single video. We try to have at least 2. It is up to you if we have 2 or not. Here's how to win. Like the video, be a subscriber to this channel, and you have to leave a comment for the comment picker to pick you up. If you don't leave the comment, then the comment picker cannot pick you up and you will not win. If this video gets at least 50 likes and you've left a comment and are a subscriber, you will have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. Now, FTA Plus includes all sports. It's not just NBA. So you'll have access to NBA, MMA, PGA for next Thursday, if you are around here. We have NASCAR as well. And then MLB, we are 3 weeks away from MLB. We're very excited about MLB. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you'll have a chance at a free month of FTA Plus. 150 likes, a free year. 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. The second way to win, somewhere in this video, there'll be a keyword or a key phrase. Listen for it, type it in, and you'll have a second chance at a free week. Now, you could win both times. We've had that happen before. It's been a while since we've had that happen. So we're going to see who the winners from yesterday's video are. So we had in that video, we had 447 views, 54 likes, and 26 comments. So if all 54 likes left a comment, you'd have a 1 in 54 shot to win. But we have a 1 in 25 shot to win right now. The winner right now is Brian Tate. Congratulations, a former winner in the past. All you got to do is email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1 at gmail.com. And let me know your username on the website. Now, the video or the keyword was attitude, so we are going to re-roll it. You have a 1 in 25 chance to be the winner yet again. We will see if that is the case. And the winner is, for the keyword, Stan Skorowski. So congratulations, Stan. I know you have an account on the website, but email me, let me know what your username is, and we will get you both set up for a free week. Now, after we go through some of our projections, we are going to build a DraftKings lineup and a Fanduel lineup for you here live on the channel. They are tournament picks, so you can go through and you can kind of use it as a starting building block. So looking at Vegas odds right now, we have Hornets at Cavs. The Cavs are a 17.5 point favorite. So while the Cavs might have some good plays, be very careful using which ones, because if they don't hit the value within the first 3 quarters and it follows it, they probably absolutely rock. And then the Stars probably sit pretty early in this game. 235.5 over under. Raptors Jazz 229.5 over under. Toronto is a 2.5 or 5.5 point favorite. Then you got the Mavs versus the Grizz. 239.5, so a higher one, but the Memphis Grizzlies are 10.5 point favorites, so definitely pay attention there. You got Thunder Blazers. It should be a good game. 226.5 over under. Thunder's only 1.5 point favorite. Heat Timberwolves 4.5 point favorite are the Minnesota Timberwolves. It has a low over under of 216.5. Kings Spurs 235.5 over under, so a great spread or a great over under. 5.5 point spread, so that's definitely one we need to pay attention to. And then Nuggets Suns. Nuggets are 7.5 point favorite. Now, Joker is not 100%, and we saw that he's had 2 subpar games for what his price is. Denver 7.5 point favorite with a 237.5 over under, and the currently, according to this website, Clippers Knicks do not have a spread. Oh, they do. So the Clippers are a 7.5 point favorite with a 219.5 over under. So there you have it. Those are your 8 games that we want to talk about. Now we are going to go through the early simulations and early projections. Now these can and will change throughout the day. So some of your value picks will update throughout the day when all of these guys who are questionable are ruled in or out. And there are a ton. SGA is out, which is unfortunate. He's 41 points the other day, had rest. Could he not have rested yesterday? Neither here nor there. So we're going to go through position by position. We're going to go top picks. Mid picks are 8,000 or below, and then value picks are usually 5K or below. Value picks normally 100% of the time will update throughout the day. That is why I tell you check about an hour before tip-off. So looking at that, we've got James Harden at the top right now. We got him right around 52 to 55 fantasy points. We got Scotty Barnes against Utah, 30th DVP, so a great matchup for him. We're looking at about 48 to 52. We've got Ja Morant, 43 to 45 fantasy points. So then we get in this range right here for your value, or your mid-tier. Now, I do personally love Darius Garland today. The problem, if the game gets out of hand like Vegas thinks it could, and Darius doesn't get the projection within the first 3 quarters, he could sit, and I fully expect that could happen. So definitely pay attention there. But we are looking right around 36 to 40 fantasy points against Charlotte, 14th DVP, so right in the middle. There are better options, but in a game that should be a shootout for them, hopefully we're able to take advantage of it early in the game. We've got Alex Caruso for OKC, 36 fantasy points right now. If he gets the start with SGA being out at 4,400, it's a huge value play. But he is so big, he's in mid-tier right now. But he's probably the biggest value play as of right now until others open up. Then we got Spencer Dinwiddie against Memphis, 34 to 38 fantasy points. Should be playing from behind, but if the game gets out of hand, they could sit Dinwiddie as well. And then Anthony Simons, 33 to 35. And then we get down here to some value. Depending on what opens up, Isaiah Collier, he's too expensive, value-wise. Kind of looking at this, Chris Dunn, we're looking about 25 to 28 fantasy points. Looking at Jamal Sheed, 3,400 against Utah, 30th DVP, 23 to 26 fantasy points. And then Luke Kennard against Dallas in a game that they're expected to be up pretty big. I could see him getting some extra run here, 21 to 25 fantasy points. Then we move to the shooting guard position. You can see all these guys out, Hero questionable, you've got all this there. But you want to navigate through that, we will navigate through the junk for you. So looking at the top, Anthony Edwards, 45 to 48 fantasy points. Zach LaVine, about 42 to 46. Desmond Bane against Memphis. The only problem is if they get up too big, Bane will sit. 4th DVP, about 42 to 46 fantasy points. Move to mid-tier after we get through all these guys who are already ruled out. Shaedon Sharpe against OKC, 17 DVP, 32 to 35. Isaiah Joe is he is a huge value pick right now. He's only 4K. Looking at 30th DVP, we're looking at 32 to 36 fantasy points out of him. I want to get exposure to them, especially if they get up big with all the other guys for OKC being out. Christian Braun, 32 to 36 fantasy points. And then we get down here into this little area of value under 5K, depending on where we're at. I'm looking at Vince Williams Jr., 24 to 28 fantasy points. Max Strus against Charlotte. I think he'll get a little extra run if Cleveland gets up as big as they think. I do. 22 to 25. And then Jalen Wells against Dallas, 22 to 25 as well. So we got small forward. So looking at the small forward, want to kind of see where we are. We got Kevin Durant at the top against Denver, 26 DVP, about 43 to 48 fantasy points. I don't know if that's enough to hit the value that you're looking for at 8,900, but with all the other value that's opening up early today and probably will open up throughout the day, you can afford to pay up 8,900 and not get that 6 to 7 times value. Just a couple of spots, though. DeMar DeRozan against San Antonio, 24 DVP, about 39 to 42. Josh Hart, about 38 to 42 fantasy points as well. Then we move down a little bit. Kawhi Leonard, 37 to 40 fantasy point range. Aaron Wiggins for OKC, another type of value pick, but 36 to 40 early. And then Michael Porter Jr., Denver versus Phoenix. I would like Porter if Jokic is actually ruled out, which I don't think he will be, but I would like him even more, about 35 to 38 fantasy points. Then we get down here, sub right around 5K or below is what we're kind of looking at. Right around that mark. Bryce Sensabaugh, 5,200, 29 to 32 fantasy points. I am very okay with that price. We got Jacoby Walter for Toronto against Utah, 27 DVP, about 26 to 30 fantasy points, which would be awesome. And then Keon Johnson against Sacramento, 22 to 25 fantasy points. Then we look at power forward. Obviously, we have Davis out, Jalen Williams out, which opens up OKC value is what we're looking at. Jaren Jackson Jr. being out, which opens up Memphis value, especially in a big blowout there. So we're looking at power forward, depending on where we are at. If he plays, Chet Holmgren is close to the top. He did miss the last game, though. Got him about 44 to 50 fantasy point range. Evan Mobley for Cleveland. The problem is if they get up too big, he'll be one that sits pretty handedly, 43 to 48. We've got Julius Randle against Miami, 37 to 40 fantasy points. Then we get down into the middle here. Najee Marshall, about 37 to 40. We've got Kenrich Williams for OKC, a huge value right now. If he does start, 31 to 34 fantasy points. And OG Anunoby, 32 to 36 fantasy points. And then trying to find other value, which I don't know if you're going to find other value outside of Kenrich Williams, but we're looking at Brandon Clark, about 23 to 25, KJ Martin, 22 to 26, and Derrick Jones Jr. for the Clippers, about 20 to 24 fantasy points. And I did forget to mention, we will go over all of the value picks after, like the biggest value picks, after all the positions are done. And before we get too far into this, the keyword of the day is Friday, because it is Friday and we're excited. So I don't know if I'm going to pay up for Jokic today. He is 12,300. He's got a bum ankle, and he's had back-to-back games, stinky games. Played 38, 39 minutes, under 60K. Basically at 12.3, you need 65 to 70 plus out of him to feel comfortable paying that. In this matchup, he does have 21st DVP against Phoenix, 67 to 70 fantasy points is his projection early. But let's wait for the news to come out to see if that ankle really is bad. If he sits, if he's not 100%. I mean, the minutes have been there. He's got a great matchup. I'm scared that he might not get everything we need. Karl Anthony Towns, 47 to 50 fantasy points. Zubac against the Knicks, 43 to 45 fantasy points. So mid-tier in this area here, we've got Kyle Filipowski, about 33 to 35. Jalen Williams for OKC, under 5K mark, 25th DVP, 33 to 36 fantasy points. Jarrett Allen, again, though, if they get up too big, I think Jarrett Allen will sit. We got Jarrett Allen right around 32 to 35 fantasy points. And then looking here at lower, depending on how far down you want to go. And you can see there's so many people out right now. It's wild. This part of the season we're at, a lot of people are resting or out for the playoffs, or if the teams missed the playoffs, they will be out. So it's definitely something to look at. But we've got Jalen Williams, 25th DVP, 33 to 35. We've got Orlando Robinson for Toronto, 28th DVP, 32 to 35. And then Dwight Powell, if he plays for Dallas, if they're playing for BI, and he should get some extra run, 28 to 32 fantasy points. Those are just some of the picks. They are not all of them. They are some of them. But if you want to see all of the biggest value, as of right now, Kenrich Williams is the number one biggest value at 3,400 at 31 fantasy points, not over 9 times value. Orlando Robinson, 28 DVP there, about 8.71 times value. Alex Caruso, 8.13 times value. Isaiah Joe, 8 times value. Dwight Powell is 7.78. Jalen Williams is 7.62 value. Aaron Wiggins at 7.3 value. So those are currently after 10,000 simulations, all of the players that have a 7 times value or more. Now, that's basically the sweet spot where you're looking at. So if you can get a handful of those value picks, and then on top of some studs, you could be in store for a very, very, very fun time. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build you a DraftKings lineup and a Fanduel lineup. Now, these are early lineups. When we build these lineups, they are strictly tournament lineups. What I mean by that is they're not projected out for cash, and things can and most likely will have changed by the time you watch this video or by the time lineups lock. So these are just a great starting point because there's so much great value out there that we need to go to Walmart. And if you get that joke, that means you shop at Walmart and you buy the off-brand, the great value brand. So we're just going to start it off, Scotty Barnes. Now, hopefully, some of these players that we do, a lot of them are the value picks. A lot of value for OKC right now. My problem is, if there are blowouts, hopefully we get the fantasy points we need before said blowouts occur. And you can see this is more of a very boomer bust type lineup because a lot of these picks are huge value, like Isaiah Joe, Kenrick Williams, huge value here. And then you pay up for James Harden because he has been pretty good lately. 67 his last game against Detroit, 57. Kind of a stinker, a couple of stinkers there, but back-to-back really good games. Those were even in back-to-back days, and now he's had a day of rest. So hopefully he comes out to ball, and that's really all we can ask for in this situation. So we have paid up for Harden, and basically, I mean, you can see we paid up for Scotty Barnes, we've paid up for DeMar DeRozan and Zubac, and the rest are all value sub 5K, one's even sub 3,500, which is exactly what we're looking for. So that is a tournament lineup for DraftKings. This is our lineup for FanDuel. I did forget to mention, we still have opportunities. People were waiting for payday. If you guys are interested in the yearly pass, normally $199 for a year. You get every single sport. If you email me today, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1 at gmail.com. We are offering the yearly pass for $75 via PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. So if you are interested, hit me up. Email me. We will get you set up. If you already have an account on the website, let me know. If you need a new account, let me know a username, email, and password. Send over on those 3, depending, Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, and we will set you up for $75. That is a full year, all sports. It includes the entire 2025 season for MLB, the entire 25-26 NFL season. That concludes with the Super Bowl. That includes PGA, MMA, the rest of this NBA season, and the majority of next season. We've got this basically the first, like the rest of this NASCAR season and the first couple of weeks of next year's as well. So that is what we've got. Good luck today. Down below, you can also find our free Discord in the description. We try to help each other out. So good luck. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.